What's good, y'all? My name is Sir Harvey Fitz.
Welcome back to the Unpleasant Thoughts Podcast. It's your boy Shampoo, aka Shampoo. Got another special guest with me today. Let the people know your name, a little bit about what you do, and where they can find you also.
What's good, y'all? My name is Sir Harvey Fitz. I'm a full-time creative. This is Plan A through This Has to Work. You can find me all over social media, wherever there is social media, at Sir Harvey Fitz. I do have a website too, which is www.sirharveyfitz.com. In being a full-time creative, I have my hands or my irons in a lot of irons in the fire, I should say. I do everything from production coordination, photography, videography, spoken word poetry, of course, and I'm also an actor.
All right. Appreciate you for coming through.
Thank you for
Appreciate
having
you for coming through. No problem. So we like to take it back to the beginning. So just let us know a little bit, like where do you originate from, like birth-wise?
So it's funny because like I'm not a huge fan of the term the DMV area. It's just weird for me, but I absolutely qualified to be able to say it because I was born in Alexandria. You know, my mother's water broke. Closest hospital. Boom. That's where I came out at. At that time, we were staying. We were staying on Atlantic Ave on the south side. Then moved back to Virginia. Then to Maryland. And I bought my house in Capitol Heights.
Okay.
So
you've
yeah.
really been all over the DMV.
Really all over the DMV, man. I like to say I have the best of both worlds. I get the DC environment of quote unquote Ward 9, but I also get representation in Congress. Hello.
So how was that, like, coming up as a youngster, like in these areas?
It was so when I was relatively young when we moved back to Virginia and was there for a couple of years. Then when her job transferred back over to Maryland, it was a culture shock. It was like, wow, this is a whole different world across this bridge.
What was like the biggest change from that?
The biggest change was culturally, because you know,
I'm not really familiar with Virginia's culture, to be honest.
it's a melting pot. I went from being one of maybe 3 black kids in the class to all black.
Like, got you. Like, what grade were you?
That was what, the 4th grade going into the 5th grade. Yeah, that was 4th grade going into the 5th grade, and man, I got picked on. They used to call me like, they used to call me Arthur. They used to call me Carlton Banks because I talk, well, according to them, proper. I'm like, bro, I don't talk white. I talk right. I don't. Yeah, that was something. And then I spent 1 year in public school, and then after that, she snatched me out and put me in private school. So I went to National Christian Academy in Fort Washington through graduation, and that was interesting.
So, like, were you a creative as a youngster?
Always.
So, what's your first memory of doing something in the creative realm?
Writing.
Right.
I've always been a writer. I grew up. I was raised an only child, and so, but I had a lot of brother cousins, sister cousins type situations, and I would literally like create in my mind my own worlds and stuff. And
so you write like stories?
Yeah. Okay. At a young age, I'm like writing all kinds of stories, other worlds and stuff, and I always sucked in math, but I was great in writing and history, and my teachers would always be impressed. Like when we time to journal and stuff, like you wrote all of this in this short amount of time. I'm like, yeah, because I just always had it in my mind that where I was in life wasn't where I was going to stay.
Gotcha.
So I knew to write my way out of certain things.
That's a nice way to look at it. So your personal writing is like Did you share those with others at first?
Did not. I was the Black Doug Funny. For those of you old enough to remember Doug the cartoon, I've kept a journal since I was like 12, 13. I still have all my journals too. Kept them all, and when it veered into the lane of poetry, that was junior high into high school, and it continued into college. And one day, my college roommate at the time was cleaning up the room, and he came across one of my journals and read one of my poems and was like, "Yo, this is dope. You should, it's an open mic on campus. You should go." I was like, "Nah, this ain't for public consumption." But one week I ain't have nothing to do, and I went, and it was like the spark just snapped from there, and it's been going ever since.
That was your first time sharing like your poetry with someone else, or did you share with like close?
So when I was in what was that? I want to say 9th, 10th grade. I worked on the school paper, and they gave me my own little column, I guess. Okay. And so I would write like surface level generic poems or whatever, inspirational stuff, just to have something to put in there. But in terms of like deeply personal cathartic stuff, nah, I never.
Did you still have those also?
Yeah, I still have all of that.
That's all right, Some people, I had a lot of people that they do music. Mm-hmm. They say I hate my old work when I first came out.
I hear that a lot. For me, I can't say I hate the old stuff because that's me. But at the same time, I don't write the same. If that makes sense.
I mean, it's growth.
It's growth. Yeah.
That's why I think it's impressive that you keep it, because you can.
Yeah, definitely.
You can literally see your growth. You might go back and read the old one. Mm-hmm. You're like, damn. This is where you were in that moment.
Yeah, that's really how it is for me with photography. Gotcha. It's like looking at like when I first started shooting.
When did that come into play?
The photography came into play when I graduated college. I was, what was that? I got this gig with an online publication. I can't remember the name of them, but they're now defunct. The media company AXS bought them out and just made it all defunct. But basically, the thing was, I could write about anything I wanted to write about as long as it was geared towards generations X and Y. But because I was always a music lover, I was always going to concerts and festivals and stuff. So I would cover that. And at that time, I ended up getting laid off of my first job out of college, and they were like, if you stay, we can only offer you this much. And at that time, Sally Mae was on my neck. So I was like, bruh, for this little bit of money, I might as well be working for myself. And then that's when the light bulb hit. Gotcha. And I went into it full time. And so by me going into it full time, I was accepting assignments like the day before, and I didn't have time to reach out to photographers. So I took my little tax refund check, went right to Best Buy, got my first camera, and whatever I didn't know, I went to YouTube University.
That's always.
It just started shooting.
That's a great
but it's funny because like the first
pictures, they weren't that good.
Bruh, my depth of field was just all off.
Gotcha. So you mentioned videography too. Did that come into play off the same?
Yeah, because living in this area that we live in, everybody is an artist. Yeah, everybody is the next
That's
Jay-Z.
why I popped out with my camera.
Right? No, it's a really real thing.
You shoot music videos?
Yeah, or like I would shadow other,
like behind the scenes.
That became a lot because it's like, who am I to tell somebody, bro?
So you like photography more?
Yes, definitely, yes.
See, me personally, I like videography, but I'll take the pictures if I have to. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. I feel like this people, you gotta be moving for me comfortable. I don't know
That's
why.
so funny. For me, it's that, but because the opposite of that, I love capturing like those moments in time. Because like the saying goes, a picture says 1,000 words.
I'd be like, you gotta be moving for me. Oh no, I don't. It's weird because most people I heard do prefer the photography.
And then also the way my ADD is set up, to have to sit there, post. And keep looping the same thing over and over and over again.
Editing videos is that's what I do for peace.
No, that is a nightmare for me. I used to hire people.
But I used to do that when I was I used to rap in high school, so I used to edit out videos and stuff like that. That's why I told myself I don't even think YouTube was. I just trial and error at that point.
For me, for a minute, I was like, bro, I'm only record. I can only shoot your stuff in RAW. I'm not. I can't. You take it and do whatever you want to do with it. Yeah, no, sure.
Yeah, I understand. So, with the photography, how long did it take you? I know you say YouTube University. How long did it take you to be like, yeah, all right, I'm pretty good at this?
It was about a couple years because where the area that I started out in, which was like concerts and stuff, you like you said, it's the movement.
Yeah.
You don't have long to get the shot.
Yeah.
Especially doing like A-list, major artists or whatever. A lot of times, which was surprising to me, that when you get accepted or when you get your credentials approved to shoot like concerts and stuff, they only allow you in that media box for like the first 2 minutes, and then you're out of there. You got max. You got about 5 good minutes to get your shot.
I haven't been in it like accepted. I don't stop. That's something I did not know.
Yeah, it's the cold cruel world, especially if it's you and then like 10, 12 other outlets.
Yeah, they gotta get their shots too.
You gotta figure that out real quick.
Okay, so that is something that's new to me. So I can't really. I don't know. I might can take a good picture, but I appreciate looking at it. Good photos. So I'll search. I look at different photographers, scroll through their shit. I'm like, it's pretty nice. I can do that. That's why I appreciate it.
That's why I like you can.
That's why I appreciate it more, because I know I was like, shit, my shit blurry.
No, because but that's also what helped catapult me, because the photos that would accompany like my write-ups for the concerts and stuff, like artist management, A&R people, they would love the photos. So then the next go around, whenever the talent was in town, I would get hit up specifically, hey, can we doing this promo thing, can you come and shoot? Be like, yeah, how much you pay? And so it snowballed.
Yeah, that's pretty good. You say production coordinator? Tell me about that.
So I work mostly in talent with production coordination. That basically involves managing the green rooms, making sure artists are where they are supposed to be, when they're supposed to be there, making sure their entourage is not entouraging, which can be
I would say, how hard is that?
It can be a pill sometimes, but for the most part, for me, my experience has been great. There's been a couple of where it's just like, can you just stay right here? Don't move. Just don't move.
Babysitting.
No, really, for real, babysitting. Especially when they like to indulge in extracurricular activities. Yeah. It's like, we need such and such on the stage. I'm like, bro, stay outside. Again. Yeah.
How did that come about? Like, you want to get into that?
So I went to school for all of this.
Okay.
I graduated from Virginia State University with my Bachelor of Arts in Radio and TV Production. That was the concentration. The overall degree was in Mass Comm, and I minored in history. And basically, through word of mouth and interning, my first internship was at Voice of America, which a lot of people in the States have never really heard of. But like, if I mention that to someone who's foreign to the country, they would light up like a Christmas tree. Oh my God. Because they've been around for like 80, 90 years. And basically what like CNN is to us, that's what they are to other. They started out as a radio during like one of the wars and it transitioned into like full media, and I learned a lot while I was interning there, man. And I took that knowledge with me and started rubbing elbows and networking, and then one day I got my shot to PA on, what was it? It was an award show. And then, because like working in talent is like, once you prove yourself to not be like crazy or like a liability, you know, you keep getting called back.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. So, have you done radio?
I have not done radio, no. Came close once. There was the opportunity to do this podcast. It's so funny because like my whole life has been one big full circle moment. Like the people that I either grew up with or grew up around. It's like to see them now in their life. I did have we shot like a pilot thing, but nothing ever came up with it. This amazing media mogul. She's not just a media mogul, she's like a business mogul all around. Her name was Oni Bell. It was me, her, and Tanya Blunt. A lot of people may know her from Sister Act 2, the one that was like, this is for church. Her and her husband now are in like this amazing duo folk group called the War and Treaty. But it's like, not that long ago, the three of us was about to do this dope podcast together out of Irish and Mall, of all places. Yeah. That was to answer your question, that was like the closest I ever got to doing radio.
You said acting.
Yes.
Acting. All right. So what have you done acting wise so far?
Oh, I've done a lot. I got my start in theater at Virginia State. Got bit by the bug. But even before then, I was always doing school plays and stuff. I was very good at masking, like myself, pretending that I was someone else.
Gotcha.
Thank God for therapy. Growing up, you know, awkward, lanky, tall, black kid, you know, you just...
So I try for that sometimes.
Right, and just not being able to. So I delved into acting because I could be or I can audition to be anybody else other than me. And I became really good at it, like really good at it. And I'm thankful for the theater background first versus, you know, like doing TV and film first, because the discipline that comes with theater, again, just like shooting concerts, you get one shot. Like there's no cut while you're on stage, and then you know you gotta keep going. And from theater, I transitioned to doing like commercial work and background acting. I've been doing that for like 6 or 7 years now. Yeah.
What's your biggest role so far?
Biggest role so far would be the role that I got my SAG card in, which was Lady in the Lake.
Lady in the Lake. Is that the one that just was on TV?
Yeah, it was. And this is the thing about like Hollywood. Yeah. I was the photographer. It's like don't blink, but yeah. I'm grateful for that.
No, what episode?
Episodes 3, 5, and 7. You see me in. I'm really grateful for that because it got me my SAG card, and it landed me my first, I guess, major film production role. I ended up becoming the casting assistant on that.
So that was set in Baltimore, right?
It was.
Okay, gotcha.
And a lot of people don't know that was like 3 years ago. We filmed that like 3 years, and it just came out. Yeah, because I was working on that literally at the same time I was working on Rustin.
Okay, that's the movie, right?
Mm-hmm. That's the.
I haven't seen it.
I highly recommend that. That's the first film that the Obamas put out under their production company. Yeah.
So did you you had to audition for the role?
Actually, no. So for background roles, you pretty much there's like a casting. There's like a casting call. There's a whole bunch of different websites that you can apply to or whatever, and you basically upload your pictures and your stats and whatever they're calling for. You just submit for it, and they go through. It's like literally like a cattle call. They go through the pictures, and when they pick, if they see if they like what they see, then they'll give you a call back, and you go for the fitting.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
What's been your favorite role?
Favorite role.
Like all throughout, no matter what level. It's like all throughout.
Probably would have to be back to theater. Yeah, definitely theater. I was stool pitching in King Hedley II, which is it's a really dope play, and it allowed me to. It touched on mental health, which is something I'm big on, and so yeah.
I'm interested in acting, that's why I got a lot of questions.
Oh yeah, no.
Do you have a dream role?
Yeah, yeah. I want to play Little Richard on Broadway.
Okay. Is that something they have already going?
No one has ever. Surprisingly, nothing has ever been come up of it or anything. And it's like we have so many greats that now have their stories on Broadway.
Yeah,
like
I've heard about it.
Like Donna Summer had a great run with her story. Tina Turner's is still going on. There are talks about Quincy Jones getting one. Michael Jackson has one that's been touring. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like yeah, that would be my dream role.
And who would, if you had one, would be your favorite actor?
Oh, my favorite actor? So I have a favorite white one, I have a favorite black one.
I got one of those.
Same thing with actors. My favorite black actor is Courtney B. Vance.
Gotcha. Angela Bassett.
Yeah, and husband to Angela Bassett, who is my favorite black actress. But Courtney, because he was the first representation for me that looked like me. You know what I'm saying? Brown skin. He was quote unquote a villain. It was the what was it, the movie with Michelle Pfeiffer. She was a substitute teacher.
Is that the
something like that. I think something like that. Yeah. But it was the first time I saw like him playing like a quote unquote bad guy, and he was so good at it. When I saw it, it resonated. I was like, if he can do this, I can do this too. Definitely can do this. But my favorite white actor is Cary Grant, because I used to go to my grandparents' house in the summertime. They retired in Virginia Beach, Virginia, and I used to sit on my grandparents' bed, crisscross applesauce, watching old black and white movies. My grandfather, he loved black and white movies, and one of the ones that they would show all the time, one of the movies that they would show all the time had Cary Grant. He was basically like he was a George Clooney back then.
Gotcha.
Essentially, he got all of the dope roles.
I've heard the name, but I'm not really too keen on the.
Definitely check out the Philadelphia Story. That's and also To Catch a Thief. Those are to me his two greatest films.
White actress.
White actress. So it kind of of all time, Grace Kelly. Another one. She was back there with. She was in To Catch a Thief with Cary Grant. White actress alive, Julia Roberts. Julia Roberts.
Yeah, that's not a bad one. She definitely got some shit. I like my favorite black actor is Don Cheadle. Like I like.
Mm-hmm. I can see that.
I like what's the him and Denzel? What's the Devil in the
Devil in the Blue Dress?
Favorite white actor is Joaquin Phoenix.
He's very diverse.
Before the Joker, he got some old shit. He got like plays quiet, crazy shit.
No, because he's what you call a method actor. So he literally becomes the character.
What's your acting style?
I do method as well, which can be tricky when like you are, I guess, the creative amongst the group. So it's kind of like, you got something going on today because you acting
I haven't
weird.
really interacted like with actors, especially now during the roles. So I would kind of want to see how that. It's be around that.
It's interesting because you like study the life of the character, and then you try to not necessarily mimic that, but you try to immerse yourself in the world of the character as best you can in real life.
So you say, have you combined like your writing in the movies? Have you written like scripts or?
I've written a ton of stuff. I've written a bunch of scripts.
Have you shot in it?
Have not shot anything yet. Have not. On the theater side, though, I have workshopped a lot of my works. The Kennedy Center used to have this pre-zombie apocalypse that was COVID. They used to have this annual event called Page to Stage, where they would do a call for all playwrights, creatives who were working on a production of some sort, and like you applied, and they literally gave you their space for a whole weekend, and like don't charge you anything. They gave you their space to workshop your whatever it is you were working on, whether it was a scene, whether it was like a short play or a skit, and yeah, I participated in that a few years, and with some of it was my own stuff, and the feedback was really great. But now that you mention it, I do need to move the needle on the other side with the film stuff, because I have some really dope things that I've written that I'm waiting to pitch.
So, like, you have any other creative endeavors? You say you got your hands.
It's so funny because that is always the number one question that I get asked. Like, what do you do? Because if I see you everywhere,
I say, what don't you do?
Right,
basically.
Right.
What don't you do?
I don't do disenfranchisement because being a creative, a lot of times people will try to bleed you dry of your gift without proper, payment or compensation. There's that age-old currency of exposure. What? And I always say, what? Honestly, what good is the exposure if it's only going to expose me to more people that are also going to use me?
Correct.
It's
like, and then it's like, if you asking me to do something, you probably or think I'm capable of it, so you wouldn't ask me to do it if I'm not worth something.
That's real. Which is what I always tell other artists: you gotta figure out what your worth is and charge that.
How hard is it to, or has it been to determine your worth to you?
It was in the beginning, maybe about somewhere around like the 2016s, 2017s. My issue was I had gotten comfortable with my clientele at that time, especially on the photography side. So I started aiding and abetting them undercutting me. I got this baby shower, I have this party, or there's this event. Can you come? This is all we can pay you. Okay. But because it was consistently like that, I had it in my mind, okay, I should just be grateful for this.
Yeah, it's consistent.
Right. But I came to the understanding that in firmly saying no and passing that up and losing that clientele, it made way or made room for the people to come in or the clients to come in that will pay you your worth.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I don't understand that because I even with this, like I used to shoot a lot of like recaps of events. She would say your price to some people, that's too much, but it's like you don't actually know everything that goes
into it.
Like you said, you don't like editing. Just because I like it doesn't mean it's not time consuming as well. So they think you don't even gonna be here for whatever shooting for this long, but yeah, it doesn't end there.
You're not paying for the 30, 45 minutes or even an hour. You're paying for the years that I spent perfecting my craft. you're paying for the time that I put into learning this. Like, it's a lot more that goes into that time frame of your event that you're trying to book somebody to do something for you for.
And so I don't know if it's possible, but if it is, how would you rank all the things that you do, or does it vary depending on the season?
It'll always be, for me, it'll always be writing first,
Right.
and then everything else
It shuffles.
It shuffles. It shuffles. Just before I could do anything, I could write.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So is it so if it's like a opportunity over here or over there, and they pay the same, the writing is always gone.
Yeah.
So take out the writing, and then what if it's the other opportunities with the other ventures, and it's the same price, or they may not all be priced the same, but they're all your price.
I get what you're saying.
They're all your price.
It would probably be. It wouldn't be the acting, because contrary to popular belief, I am an introverted person. Even this right now, it's a bit much.
Hey man, look, me normally I should going out and talking to people like I do network. That shit new to me.
Right? No, it's and people tend to, especially like when they experience like my performance, like poetry and stuff. It's like it's no way. It's like, again, that's it's a character in terms, like these poems. Contrary to popular belief, 95% of my poetry is non-autobiographical. It's from like sitting down talking to people. It's from being around people. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of my poems are other people's stories, just in poetry form. So it's comfortable for me to be able to be up there because my mind is not me.
So that sounds like a bit like related to the acting.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Even like even the writer, the movie might be about somebody's life that I heard, and not necessarily my story. The music?
So yes, which is funny to me because I never thought myself to be a quote unquote music artist, but at the same time, my biggest inspiration in poetry is not a poet per se. Is the greatest rapper alive, Lil Wayne.
Gotcha.
Again, I always loved words. Always loved like innuendo and double entendres and stuff, and that's all that man ever rapped in. And growing up on my mom's side, they were very religious, like very color purple, like, you know, holiness of hell, fire and brimstone. Because everybody all of a sudden rededicated their life to Christ at the same time. Now we couldn't do nothing. Like, what you mean we can't have a Halloween party no more? Like, what?
I'm upside down like that.
So we had to like sneak and listen to stuff, and one of the first artists that I snuck and listened to was Lil Wayne. I fell in love with his rhyme scheme, and I never wanted to be a rapper per se, but I always wanted to be able to do that with words.
Gotcha.
And last year I ended up entering into this competition called Spoken Word to Go-Go Championship, which is sponsored by the Anacostia Bid and Art to Go-Go. And basically what it is you can be a poet, you can be creative, as long as you write a spoken word piece to one of the go-go tracks that was produced by the Experience Band and Show. And that was like kind of like my first real taste at delving into like the music artistry of it, because I typically perform my poems and stuff without any musical accompaniment, and in doing that it was just like, oh, okay, this is actually pretty dope. Like, I can write to music and write to a beat, and that snowballed because I ended up winning, by the way. And
I mean, I heard you on the stage.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Not surprised.
I appreciate it. In my winning though, it just so happened that it was 4 rounds, and on the final round, one of the judges just so happened to be local DC go-go band legend Shorty Corleone. He was like the front man for Rare Essence for like 10 years. he was so impressed with the competition that he stood up and announced, whoever wins, I'm going to executive produce an entire spoken word to Go-Go EP. And that man's kept his word. Like, we just recorded the last track on this tape, 2.5 weeks ago. So now everything's being mastered and mixed properly, and it'll be out next April for National Poetry Month. But even with that, it was another step further, because it went from just writing one song to a go-go track to now I'm like writing everything, not just to like an instrumental or regular music, but to like go-go.
Oh yeah,
Right.
I used to rap, but I ain't never wrote to go-go.
Go-go, it's different because
I can believe it.
It's totally.
You gotta catch the pocket.
You have to catch the man, and it stretched me as an artist, because once upon a time I prided myself on being like of having micro poems. Like for the longest time, none of my poems, like my longest poem was maybe 1.5 minutes long. But to write to go-go tracks, you'd be like, yo, this is dope. I need one more 16. I'm like, shorty, bro, you killing me.
Back when I used to rap, that's when you had at least 3 verses. Like now the song's like 2 minutes.
Nah, he wasn't having none of that. He was like, nah, you.
Cause go-go songs are definitely longer than, like, even if they redo a song, their version is longer than the original.
And I'm sitting here in the booth trying to, like, ride the little go. Like, bruh, I don't have enough for it. You need to go home and write some more and come back. It's just, but that experience on this side of like the whole music scene with that has been really great. And like I tinkered with stuff on the production side. Like I just put out this this.
That's difficult.
Yeah.
I tried to make a beat one time.
Yeah.
I almost threw the what the fuck is
Right.
this?
I just put it out. It's out. It's called The World Is Your Stage. So
What the fuck is this?
Right. It sounds like something you would listen to shopping in Express or somewhere. But
3 hours on this bullshit.
Yeah. Right. And I started to.
Okay, nobody.
I started to. My homeboy was like, nah, just put it out. Like, just put it like.
Okay. I don't think nobody would have told me that. They would have told me. Put it out.
Put it out. So it's out there. In the ethos somewhere. It's definitely out there. Like, okay.
So with your poems, how often do you write a new poem?
It depends. It'll come to me most times. Sometimes I'll get woken up out of my sleep and like not a whole poem. That's never happened yet.
It's
But
like
like a line or something to come, and then I'll wake up the next day and add something else to it.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So what's the longest it's taking you to write one? Like you say, hey, in bit and pieces, but to complete one full. What's the longest?
Maybe about 2.5 months.
2.5 months.
Yeah.
See, you must have really felt that one to even continue that process, because 2.5 months, some people might say, fuck it.
Yeah, no, well, this was actually my favorite piece to perform as well.
So I was gonna ask you about that, because a lot of people, some people like, I can't choose, I love them all.
No, we have, like, I grew up in a family where we publicly have favorites, so it's like that.
Yeah, I think I was my mother's favorite, so she gone now, so she can't.
I know for a fact.
She gone, so she can't
Right.
say I wasn't.
I know for a fact. I'm the favorite. Child, nephew.
I'm gonna just
Yeah.
I'm gonna just go with the son, the nephew, all that. Probably.
Yeah.
I'm like in the top 17.
And there may be some comments in this from some relatives.
What poem was this?
Right. But the poem, it's an homage piece to Dr. Nikki Giovanni's Ego Tripping and Dr. Maya Angelou's Still I Rise. And I titled it Steadily Rising on This Ego Trip. And it took me that long because I guess the historian in me, there's a lot of context within it with historical figures. Right, I'm trying to make it work, trying to make it rhyme, trying to make it make sense, you know.
Yeah. So you a lot of your poems, they rhyme. I know, because I know you don't have to rhyme.
You definitely don't have to rhyme. Mine do, but a lot of them are free verse. So it may not rhyme immediately, but it'll be eventually it'll be a trigger word that goes back to yeah.
Gotcha. And so I heard you say the haiku.
Mm-hmm.
When is that something that you got into later on, or did you
later on?
Okay.
Because again, growing up as a black kid in the '90s, going into the 2000s, certain liberties we didn't have, or certain access to things we didn't have, like therapy and proper diagnosis of things. You know, we just got our asses beat.
Therapy was some saying.
Right. What is that? You know, we sweep a lot of stuff under the rug, and like my entire childhood, I had a form of dyslexia with numbers called dyscalculia, and it went undiagnosed all throughout my elementary, middle school, and high school, but it stayed with me into early adulthood, into college, and it was like a situation where I was like about to like fail out because I had to pass this math or whatever, and then went and got tested and stuff, and that's when they told you.
There's a lot of things that we probably went through and they didn't even.
Yeah.
They just assumed something wrong.
Right, something wrong with it. Like I was
crazy shit. I like.
Believe it or not, I was in special ed. I was in a special ed class because they just thought,
just something wrong with it.
Something wrong with them.
Yeah,
right, something wrong with them. But no, it was just I had this.
My mother said my brother, he was bad. He didn't want to do whatever, but I guess he wasn't learning at the same pace because he probably learned different. Like you in a big class, everybody don't learn the same way.
Yeah.
And I don't think they really understood that, especially not back then. So I get that. Me personally, I'm kind of good at math. I'm good at writing. I can read. I just don't like to read. That's crazy. I like writing, but I don't like reading.
You know what's funny? That's why
I can read though.
Right. That's why intentionally my first book was a book of haiku because it's the shortest. It's so short.
They taught us about haikus in school in my school, but I wasn't really. I don't know.
But see, that's how I got introduced because that would it was suggested to me to get into that to help me with the numeration.
Yeah, okay.
And
so that's kind of like with bars too.
Yes.
Counting bars is not something that I had to teach some of my friends how to count bars because we'd get on the song, but then they verse would stop short, and I'm like, God. Keep going until you get to this point. Like, damn, nigga.
No, for real. Like, oh my God. I ain't got nothing left. That's all I got in the tank. There's nothing left in there. I don't know what else to say.
Like, I don't know. I feel like shit weird because, like, I ain't used to like doing, but I got skipped a grade. I just didn't like school. I don't know. I just, at a certain point, I just ain't like doing that shit because I felt like a lot of that shit was irrelevant. Like, after you learn, like, reading, writing, math, like addition, subtraction, division, multiplication. What the fuck? All that other
seemingly
shit
becomes a redundant thing.
All that shit isn't necessary unless you're interested in stuff like chemistry. If I'm not going to be a chemist or something that involves chemistry, I really don't need it. Like you were into history, but if I'm not going to need it, like
knocked out,
like learning, like we had to read a lot of Shakespeare and stuff like that. But but if I'm not interested, I'm on whatever. Then now I fell into class just because I'm not interested in this shit, not because I'm dumb, just because I don't care. Like,
it's funny you bring up Shakespeare because my very first photography exhibition was titled The World is a Stage, and that's based off of a Shakespearean piece called All the World is a Stage.
Have you done any Shakespeare plays?
I have not. Went to HBCU, so I kind of.
So is there like a black version of Shakespeare?
The closest would be I guess King Hedley. Because that's, Yeah, that would be the closest.
Cause I know they still making to this day movies based on Shakespeare plays.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, this is a right nice nigga. They love that.
Dog, he wrote like hundreds and hundreds
They
of.
love Shaw.
Yeah,
I ain't gonna hold you.
yeah.
I'm not. I seen some, but I would like the ones I'm into. They gotta make it more of a modern update instead of like you know what I'm saying, relating it back to you know what I'm saying. But that's just me. That's because like I said, I was never really into it. But they had. I remember in 12th grade, we had to go home. Everybody got their own monologue they had to memorize. How the fuck I remember the shit out there? I was like, alright, I might can do this. I might do this because I was like, it was in English class. I was in 12th, so that's the only class I had to pass because I had all my credits. But I was like, you know what? This ain't that bad.
Wow.
I wouldn't choose to read it, but I was like, it's not that
It's
bad.
not that bad. I promise you, it's not. And you'd be surprised at how much of our day-to-day lingo or sayings or
Based off of
colloquialism
that.
comes
Just
from
another
that.
form of that.
Yeah.
Remembering whole monologues. You did it. Is that? I don't think. Is that easy?
For me, it's easy. Because again, I get to delve into being something else.
Like minute wise, what's the longest monologue you've done?
It's funny. Because I took this, I had to take a speech class in college, and the midterm exam was we had to do a monologue, and I did. I combined. I did a combination. I did.
You made your work harder.
But I love it, and I love a challenge artistically. So I combined, because my favorite actress, Angela Bassett. I combined. Remember the scene where she in Waiting to Exhale, where she went all burnt up all the stuff.
Of course.
I combined that.
That iconic.
Yes.
Walking away from it.
I combined. I did that, and I combined it with there's another amazing actress called Diane Keaton.
Okay.
In the movie First Wives Club.
I'm not familiar with the movie, but
Man, you gotta watch that movie. That movie's funny as all get out. I did that monologue. I did her "I'm Sorry" monologue, and the way I combined them, I started out with Diane Keaton's the whole I'm sorry" thing, and then she storms out, and then I had like a suitcase with like stuff in the room, and then when I left out of the classroom, I slammed the door behind me, and then I kicked the door back open. And went into, Angela Bassett's on fucking worth, all the fucking worth. And like started snatching all the stuff down. And when I finished, everybody stood up clapping, and the teacher was like, I have to come back to this class. That was off the midterm. But
shit, that's alright.
The actual longest, like, one-piece monologue I did was Frederick Douglass's 4th of July speech, which is basically cussing America out. Because, like, why? Like, how you want me as a black man come here all the way 1800 and whatever to celebrate this as a celebration?
Every now and then America do be needing to get
I mean, like the great Beyonce says, America has a problem. Yeah. But yeah, I dove into, like, I had a fro at the time. I made it all dusty gray.
Did you get? I would say,
definitely got an A on project.
Did you get in the curve?
Definitely got into character. Put on the oldest little thrifty looking suit that I could find, and that's actually somewhere around Facebook still.
I'm gonna ask you that, like your performances, like these things, you got this captured.
So, yeah, I'm getting better at that.
That's also why I love videography as well, because I know the moment still, but it just be moments. Like you just like I got this one video that I used to shoot videos. I bring my camera. Anyway, I used to have a phone and just bring that. I had a phone. I had a separate phone specifically for recording, and Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I got Frank passed away. One of the joints we shot on his birthday. I still watch that shit every now and then. It's just cause, and I like we all went around the table just said something about him. I was just like, damn, you know, you need shit like that.
You do. I'm trying to get better at it.
Because these performances that you say you had, like, they might need to be seen. They might need to be appreciated by the world, you know. Like, so when you go out and you do, you know what I'm saying, your performance on the poetry, you don't have you a personal, so you need to do that.
So, right.
So,
you're right. You're right.
It's also the crowd reaction, because the crowd last night, it was 11.
They would they was. And so what I typically do is I be like, yo, I got my AirDrop on.
Shit, even if you gotta get a tripod and set your own joint. You know what I'm saying? Because
I do it for everybody else, like professionally. So it's like, but when it comes to myself,
you gotta appreciate your own moment.
No, you're right. I'm with you being right.
You know what I'm saying? Because I've been learning. I learned a lot of that shit through laws. You know what I'm saying? Because it was in 2022. I was going around. I was outside shooting videos. We used to go to karaoke every Tuesday shooting videos, and I get all of that. And then my mother died that year, and I was thinking, I ain't doing no fucking videos of my mother.
Wow.
Like, I don't got shit really, but I can hear her voice.
Right.
So it's just like, you gotta capture everything, even shit that you feel like it don't matter, because it could be little in the moment, but later on it could mean everything.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's why I love video. You know what I'm saying? Personally, it's just like I can hear you. I can, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I mean, I just got like when my son come over here, like I might record. I got random videos. We ain't doing nothing. Like he playing on the phone. He put his arm in my arm. You know what I'm saying? I just got that on camera just cause. You know what I'm saying? It nothing in the moment. But shit later on, I ain't seen my son in 2 months, so I just look at this shit now.
Oh wow.
You know what I'm saying? So you know, you see what I'm saying? You never really know. So like say you might chill out from the poetry for a little bit, but you might need that video, ignite that spark back in you. You know what I mean?
This is true.
It's just, you know what I mean? I don't know. That's just the way I look at videos.
This is
you know
true.
What I'm saying? You know, now I could appreciate a good photo, but you know what I'm saying? Can't hear it. You ain't moving. Like you can see how you can might be smiling for like 30 seconds straight, and you can see like, damn, I used to be happy as hell. I need to get back that way. Because I be preaching with my friends, man. Y'all got life happening to y'all. So nigga, if you die today, you ain't got life happening to you, ain't got shit happening to you no more. So you just gotta live, man. So you also had a book.
Yes, I do.
So I would love to
this book right here.
Love to hear about that.
This book is upside right. Yeah. This book right here.
I would love to hear about that.
This book is a testament to what can happen when you get out of your own way. It arguably, necessarily or unnecessarily, took 7 years for me to write this book.
It got done. That's all that matters. That's all that matters.
It got done. But along those 7 years, I would start and then stop.
I mean, along them 7 years, you needed certain experiences that didn't happen yet.
Arguably, yeah. And it was so wild how it just like finally came together when it did. Because like all throughout my life, people always say, you need to write a book, you should write a book, you should write a book. And one of the main people that have been in my corner for that is a woman by the name of Kaniki Jakarta, who a few years ago, she made history. She became the first black poet laureate of Alexandria, Virginia. And she also owns her own publishing company who published my book.
Shout out
to
her.
When I finally got it together, it was, I'll never forget it, I was watching the Oscars. And that was the year that John Baptiste won for scoring the animated film that he did. And as he was making his speech, it clicked in me. I was like, I need to get this book done. And I need I want to have an audio version to go along with it, right? Crazy thing is, next day, seemingly out of nowhere, I get a phone call from my homeboy Brandon Frith, who is a really dope producer in this area. He's randomly called me. He was like, "Hey, what's going on? Question: have you ever thought about like doing anything with your poetry, like artistically, like recording it? Because I have this idea that you should record your poetry." I'm like, "No way, no way." And then when I went to see Kaniki, she was she hosts Busboys and Poets on, I don't remember which Monday, but it's one of the Mondays in Charlottesville. I was on my way to go and I pulled up her information only to find out that she was actually featuring that night and spent that. And so I went, was all happy, like, Kaniki, I'm doing it, I'm going to do it, I'm almost done. She smiled, reached down into her purse and pulled out her business card and said, "I've been waiting on you. Here's my card. Email your manuscript to my assistant. I'm going to publish your book." And here we are, a little over 2,000 copies sold.
That's pretty good.
Bruh.
That's pretty great. That's awesome.
Kept many a light on
What's the name of the
in the
book?
crib. Oh, the book is titled "To Haikun That May Concern: Living Your Best Life Even When Mercury's in Retrograde." Because, yeah, the universe be universing, but we still got lives to get up and live. And it's a haiku or 10 in here that'll help you throughout your day.
Do you have a favorite one in there?
Yes. It's from the Repeat chapter. It's broken up into 4 chapters: Live, Laugh, Love, and Repeat. And in Repeat, my favorite one is sometimes it looks like it's falling apart when it's falling into place, which has pretty much been the story of my creative life.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sounds about right. I feel like if you are a creative, that's basically really right. You can
No, for real.
It's relatable one way or the other, because like think it's all going wrong, but it's going how it's supposed to.
It's going how it's supposed to go. You just need to figure out what you need to learn in that moment.
What
What
was the first and what was the last haiku that you wrote for the book? Are they in order?
They are not in order. No.
If you, I would say if you remember. Oh, the final one probably might be easier to remember or not.
Actually, I do remember the first one. Was inspired by an amazing mentor, sister friend of mine who has transitioned by the name of Lorna Pinckney. She was an amazing creative and facilitator of the arts, and she inspired the first one, which was it goes, "We owe it to ourselves as well as those watching to keep on going." Because she was like one of my biggest champions. Yeah.
Nah, that shit sounds deep. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like I get it. You know what I'm saying? Because you never know who watching you. Sometimes you don't know who watching you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, for me, it's mainly, you know, our ancestors, those who went before us, you know, that paved the way so that we can have freedom to be indecisive, you know. Yeah.
I got me a little boy with the same name as me.
Oh, wow.
I can't. You know what I'm saying? That's why I don't let nothing hold me back.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We gotta keep going. Because, you know, you gotta lead by example. Like, you know what I'm saying? Life happens. Life happens, but guess what? You can keep going.
No, for real.
One way or the other. I just made some shit. I tell her, man, I know you going through shit, but how you gonna get through it if you don't go through it? You gotta go through it. You sit in it.
Yeah.
I mean, I know shit be fucking you up sometimes, so you might need your moments where you gotta deal with it, but don't stay in it. Don't stay in it, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, I done had my periods where I ain't going through nothing. You know what I'm saying?
It happens.
But I don't feel like I have those anymore.
That's what's up.
Because, shit, I done seen some of the worst shit ever.
Mm-hmm.
And I had some of the worst shit happen to me ever. It's me personally. People might experience worse. I don't never want to get into no oppression Olympics with nobody. Got niggas that, but I'm saying for me, what I consider my worst, I had a lot of that shit happen. So, and I'm still here. So that mean, like shit, a couple weeks ago, you know what I'm saying, I got into a car accident. I was in a, I was in a ride shit, back of the car. I showed people the pictures. They was like, you was in the back. I was like, yeah. But I got out and walked out that motherfucker. But I was just like, you know, shit, we ended up on the wrong side of the road. Cars coming towards us. And I could have died, but I didn't. So,
right.
I mean, keep living, nigga.
Yeah, for real.
Keep living, nigga.
There's a reason behind it.
That's how I look at life, man. You know what I'm saying? Could have died, but I didn't. Keep living. You know what I'm saying? That's basically what that's telling me.
Wow.
Coulda, woulda, shoulda, but you didn't. So, you know what I'm saying? Niggas still here, man. That's why I love going on like events like that. You know what I'm saying? I meet people like you and other people that I met that y'all just feel like y'all love what y'all doing. You know what I'm saying? So it's just the inspiration I want. If I can give a chance, I don't know how many people gonna see it. Does anybody see it? You never know. We might inspire because you know what I'm saying. You doing what you love to do, and you say you're creative, so you love to do a lot of different things, and you don't really have to depend on others. You depend on you in a sense, but like it's based off of your abilities, things you do, and you know how to do it. And that's what I love that message, and anybody that do it, I just want to get that out there.
It's funny that you said that because the last one that I wrote for the book is actually the first one in the book, because I was going through them trying to figure out, okay, how am I going to open this up? Because none of them to me made sense to be like the first one. And then it came to me. It goes, you have two choices: sit in the pain and wallow, or get up and live.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it's easy to stay there.
Yeah,
I mean, it's easier said than done to get up, but once you motivate yourself to actually make the movement.
Yeah, everybody don't have that motivation.
They don't.
Everybody don't have that motivation. That's why it takes some understanding for me to realize that some people just don't have it in them to do certain shit. You know what I'm saying? They could say they could tell me they want to do it a million times, but they not telling themselves.
They're not telling themselves.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to hold that against them.
Sometimes they are telling themselves that, but they don't believe it. Yeah. So you can talk and talk and talk and talk till you blue in the face. If you don't believe it,
talk is cheap, especially when it's to yourself.
Yeah. If you don't believe it, it's going in one ear, out the other.
So, what do you have coming up for the people to look forward to? So?
What do I have coming up? So I am a host for Busboys and Poets Open Mic, and I specifically regularly host every third Wednesday at the 450K location. That's pretty standard. Every third Wednesday you can find me there. A lot of times I will pick up other nights as people like, because life be life. But as a full-time creative, I create all day, every day. So that's one main thing. We start production on the Kennedy Center Honors and week after next. So that's going to take me through the end of the year, and then the rest of the time will be spent working on getting the EP out, because this will be, to our knowledge, the first ever spoken word poetry to go-go music EP ever. So yeah, working with the graphic designer to get the cover perfect, which for me is not an easy thing because I know specifically what I want, and and getting those pieces memorized and ready to perform and go on tour with. And finally, finishing book 2.
That's already in the works?
Yeah. It's been in the works now for the past year and a half. at least. This one will be a collection of not just haiku, but it'll be, there's some haiku in it. There are also prose pieces, a couple of sonnets in there, and I'm titling that one "Water for the Road." Yeah.
All right, before we get out of here, I'm gonna give you a top 5 if you have them. Top 5 poets. It could be unknown or known. Even if it's somebody we need to check out, because that's all.
No, for real. Wow.
It's always good discovering new talent to us.
Wow. Okay. Poets. Okay. that's a hard question. Because I love so many.
That's why I always say, even if they don't include it in the top 5, still all love.
Right. In this moment in time, in no particular order, definitely Edgar Allan Poe, because he's like emo, and I grew up like an emo child, like Telltale Heart. Are you kidding me? Edgar Allan Poe. I would have to say Dr. Rebecca DePaz. That woman, like, she's a storyteller with her poetry. Like, she's amazing, and
I like storytelling. I used to listen to rappers that tell stories.
Yeah. She's also one of the first poets that I've ever experienced take their poetry and make a one-person show out of it. It's called Somebody Else's Blues. Like, if you get a chance, go, because it's really dope. So Edgar Allan Poe, Dr. Rebecca DePaz, Rudy Francisco. He's a dope dude out of the West Coast, but he like travels all around. Let's see who rounds out my last two in this moment. Have to be this dope brother who I am very patiently waiting on your book, sir. Adamo the poet. That brother, man, the way I love a good storyteller. I keep saying that, but the way he spins his verses is just.
Yeah, you right in all aspects, so I can.
Yeah, but the way that brother, man, I can't wait for his book whenever that comes out, and finally it would have to be. Let's say. I'm gonna say Black Thought.
Black Thought?
Yeah.
Square.
Yeah. He was the first person that I experienced to make poetry dope, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That was my top 5.
Alright. Well, I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Coming through, man. You got a lot of talent.
Appreciate
you. Put them to work. Full-time creative.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We need more of those. You know,
yeah, absolutely.
We have people with the potential. They just gotta go forward.
Yeah. You gotta lean on your local government to keep the arts in the schools too, because that's always the first line of defense. It gets taken out. We need the arts, man. We need it.
They say telling people where they can find you at one more time.
So you can find me all over social media at the Sir Harvey Fitz. That's Harvey like Steve, Fitz with Z. Or you can go to my website, www.sirharveyfitz.com.
All right, I appreciate you in this shampoo. This is Unpleasant Thoughts. See you next time.
Unpleasant Thoughts?
Yes, sir.